What happens when a woman knows too much about powerful men and refuses to be quiet about it? On August 5th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe, who is arguably one of the most iconic sex symbols in American history, was found alone and unalived in her Brentwood home. But Monroe wasn't just a blonde bombshell. By the early 1960s, she had almost completely stepped away from studio life, had started her own production company, and was creating some really interesting political connections, particularly with the Kennedy family. Monroe was alleged to have had affairs with both President John F. Kennedy and also his brother Robert Kennedy. But what really raised eyebrows were the secrets that Monroe might have learned from these men during polo talks. According to now declassified FBI files and also several prominent biographers, Marilyn kept a red diary in which she kept all of the secrets that she learned from the Kennedy brothers. The red diary was alleged to have contained the plot for the assassination of Fidel Castro, FBI secrets, CIA secrets, and also the US surveillance system secrets. In the summer of 62, Monroe started talking to her friends about how she was going to have a press release to release some of this information because she didn't think it was right it was being held from the American people. Then, just days later, she was found unalived and alone. The official cause of death was unaliving by intentional overdose of barbiturates, but there's lots of things that don't make sense about it. Not the least of which being there's no glass in the room. So she was alleged to have taken a whole handful of pills with no water. The FBI also ordered that all of the relevant files about Marilyn Monroe be deleted hours after her death. Her autopsy and toxicology reports both came back as incomplete. And in what might be the world's most sus coincidence, one of the early journalists who reported on Marilyn Monroe's case, Dorothy Kilgallen, I might be saying that, mysteriously died a few years later after telling her friends that she was going to expose the truth about Monroe's death. This is not just a celebrity scandal. It's a story of a woman who was inconvenient to powerful men. Marilyn was dismissed as crazy, unstable, and emotional, which are words we still hear today to describe women who refuse to be quiet. But she was smart, and she was strategic, and she was dangerous to the men in power. So you tell me, did Marilyn die of a broken heart? So you tell me, did Marilyn Monroe really die from a heartbreak, or was she silenced for knowing too much? As always, follow along for more and leave your thoughts in the comments.